Hi y'all, thank you and welcome to my video. So we are going to continue with what we did in the previous video that I created. So what we did there, if you happen to see it, was that we launched this website using Nginx. We created a volume to mount between our laptop, between the host machine, to the container which we launched, the Nginx container. So on it, we were able to launch this very website that you are looking at now. So what we are going to do in this video is to create a volume and mount the same container that we created earlier to another container. So the first one was to create a volume between a laptop, which is the host machine, and the Docker container. So in this video, we are going to create a volume and mount what we've got on the first container to a second container. So just for illustration, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. As you can see, in this presentation, this is what we had earlier, which was to create to run the container and then create a volume and mount it so that we were able to access the same information that we had on our laptop, which is the host machine, and access it on a container, which the Docker container. So both of them had contained the same information. So on the other hand, what we are going to do now is this. So we are going to, the first website is, let's call it uh, website A, or as we have it here, is website. So the first container website is the container that we created earlier, which we mounted to the host machine. So we are going to create a website 2, which is a second container, and then mount what we've got on the first container, which is website, and mount it to the second Docker container, which is website 2. So what will happen is that we will have the same information on both of them. So what we will do is that we will be able to access the same information we have on the first container, which is website, and on the second container, which is website 2. So let's go on and do that. I'm back to my terminal. So let's first of all see what we've got here. Docker PS. So let us see the container that we've got here. So as I was showing you, this was the container we created earlier. This was the first container, and then the name is website, if you remember, as I was showing you in the presentation. So what we intend to do now is to create a second container, right? So in order to do that, let's go on and run Docker run. So the second container, we are going to give it a name. So let's call it website. Let's call it website 2. So this will be the second container. So what we need to do is to create a volume, which is volume from. This is important. So we are creating a volume from what? We are creating this volume from the first container we've got, which we called website. We called it website. So we are going to run it in a detach mode and then map the, we are going to map the port number. So if you remember, when we ran the first container that we, earlier, we used port 8080, then we mapped it to the container port, which was 80. So because that port is now in use, we are not going to use it anymore. So we are going to choose this port number. Let's say let me say port 8085. Then 80 is the port number of the Nginx container. So now we are running Nginx, which is the image. So just to explain again, so what we are doing, we are running a new container which we are going to call, oh, wait, something is missing here. This should be name. So we are running a Docker, we are running a new container which we are going to call the website 2. We are creating a volume from the container we already had, which we called website. We are running it in a detached mode, and we are going to map it to port 8085, which we will use to access the website from our browser. So once we've got this, let us run. Oh, something seems to be missing. Volume. My bad. This should be volumes. Let's run it again. So now that we run it, this is a new container that just got created. So let us check that out. Let's run Docker PS again. So as you can see, it's the same image, and it's the same image, and this was the one we just created now. So this was the one we had earlier. As I said earlier, you can see it's we run it using port 8080 because you can only use one port at a time, map it to one port at a time. So the second one we created, we run it using port 8085. So now I'm going to show you that both containers contain the same information. So to do that, let's run docker exec and exec, and then the first container, we called it website bash. So as you can see, we are back in. We are now inside the container called website, right? So let us list the information that we've got in. Let's say user share and Nginx HTML. So this is the information we got there. Let me list it this way. So this is the information we've got in the first container. So let me exit, and then let's try the other container, which we call the website 2. Container website 2. We've logged in, and let us try the same. Let's list user share Nginx HTML. So as you can see, we've got exact information in the first container as we've got in the second container. So they are both mapped to the same volume. That we've got this, what we should do is to test our new website, which we are running on a different port number. So let me go on the browser and check it out. See, the one we had earlier, we ran it using port 8080. So what we need to do now is to run another one with the new port which we just created. So let's call it port 8085. There you go. So as you can see, we are running the same website. Both containers, Docker containers, have the same information. We map both of them together, and then we can access the same information on both of them. So this is how you can map a volume between two Docker containers. So if you want to see how I mapped the volume between the host machine and the Docker container earlier, you can check out this video clip here to see how it got done. So thank you once again for watching, and I would like to know what you think about this. Uh, if you have any question, just type it in the comment field, and I will be, if possible, I'm going to respond. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.